Bangladesh has now indefinitely banned the IPL, the streaming of IPL, and is even asking for T20 World Cup matches to be shifted out of India, turning what began as a cricket controversy into a clear diplomatic statement. Now, the flashpoint was the backlash in India over Mustafizur Rahman's IPL inclusion at a time when the anger is already high over attacks on Hindus in Bangladesh. Cricket once again is doing the talking, not just about sports, but also about pressure, pride and protests. Meanwhile, violence against Hindus in Bangladesh has only escalated. A 40-year-old Hindu woman was allegedly gang raped by two men today, who also tied her to a tree and cut off her hair in central Bangladesh's Kaliganj, which is a sub-district of Janada. This is after 4 Hindu men have been killed in different instances in the past 2 weeks. The big question, when violence and injustice are being flagged across the border, can cricket carry on as normal, or does looking away send out the wrong message? That's what we discuss in the course of the next few minutes. We're joined by Boria Majumdar, consulting editor, NDTV. We also have Tushar Gupta, political analyst. Boria, to you first. Can sports be kept separately when there's so much anger against attacks on Hindus across the border? Or does silence risk appearing insensitive to injustice, or do you think that it's a bad call?
You see, firstly, it's a political call. I mean, your headline is politicization of sport ? I don't think politicization of sport is anything new. It gets politicized every day for the last 100 years. This is the biggest lie that we always face, that, oh, you know what, sport and politics are getting mixed. Of course they will get mixed, because sport allows for protest. Sport is one of those things which will get you eyeballs. I mean, and sport and politics have always been bedfellows. You can debate the Mustafizur Rahman call by the BCCI, good or bad. Clearly, it's not a BCCI call. Has to be a government call in discussion with the MEA or the Ministry of Home Affairs. Otherwise, a cricket body cannot go and take that call. Number two, where I have problems with, if Bangladesh responded to that and said, look, it's a political call by the Indian board, and we are also responding in a political manner and saying we are pulling out. Fair enough. But what did they say? They said security. Did they ever say security till the time BCCI took this call? No. Was there a travel advisory for their fans to come to India? No. Was there a call that Mustafizur Rahman will not play the IPL before the BCCI took the call? No. As of now, if you go to Book My Show just now and check tickets for the Bangladesh-West Indies match and other matches in Calcutta, they are still being sold. I am told 3,000 people have already bought tickets, out of which more than 1,000 plus will be from Bangladesh. What about these fans? Are you even bothered? In this politicization that you are talking about between Bangladesh and India, ultimately the fan will once again lose out, who will never ever be taken seriously by anyone. So clearly, I have problems with the security issue. The security issue is certainly not true. It is a blatant lie. What is true is it is a political response to India stopping Mustafizur Rahman from coming, because the Bangladesh government, with the elections impending, cannot be seen to be soft. So they are trying to respond to India and meet India eye to eye, using that security cover as a veil, because in reality, neither Kolkata nor Mumbai or in any part of in India do you have any kind of security concern.
Right, Boria, but what kind of impact does it have on the cricket in Bangladesh and also the cricket in India? India is still understand because we're a large country, but BCB taking a position like this, was it expected?
See, in India, as far as the BCCI is concerned, nothing will happen. If you ask me in terms of impact, what is the economic impact of this? Zero. Does Indian cricket or even IPL depend for a single dollar on Bangladesh? The answer is no. Will the ICC face a logistical nightmare? Yes. Economic impact? Zero. Coming to Bangladesh, if India now responds saying India will not go to Bangladesh in September, the Bangladesh board stands to get a windfall if there is an Indian tour. In fact, the whole world does, whether it's England, whether it's Australia, whether it's Bangladesh. So in terms of economic impact, obviously the impact on Bangladesh cricket is considerably more than on India. Having said that, with the elections coming, the political class is much more focused on protecting their own interests rather than looking at the sport and Bangladesh. Because from what we know, the BCB did not want to take the call. It was rather imposed on them by the political establishment of the country.
So it's a political call in both countries. Tushar Gupta, Is cricket being used here as a pressure tactic? Because I don't really understand the call that they've taken. Why should players, and this applies to even artists, why should these people be made to carry the burden of political and diplomatic tensions? What's happening is immensely sad. We have to use the right kind of platforms to send out the right message. But why should players and sports men be asked to carry this burden?
A part of it has to do with the market forces. The market forces, that is the viewers and the sponsors, have made the IPL what it is. And if the same viewers, and if partially the sponsors as well, do not like the idea of Bangladeshi cricketers being a part of the IPL, irrespective of the religion, I think the board or the government will have to take a call. Now, we often think that sports and politics are not intertwined, but that's a lie we keep telling ourselves. You go back to the 2003 World Cup. For instance, England decided not to go to Zimbabwe for the game. New Zealand also wanted to have India and Australia quit their games in Zimbabwe. But that political coloring has always happened. Now, the problem is we draw a causality between.
But does it work, Tushar Gupta? Does it really work?
No, it's not. It's not about working or not working. It's about just sending out the statement. Now, I'll give you an example. We tend to draw causality that if all is well in sports, it might reflect in politics. And that was the intention with which we had the Pakistani players in the IPL's first season. The same intention with which 2011 semi-final between India and Pakistan was such a huge diplomatic event. We tend to draw that causality that maybe if all is well on the sporting field, everything be well in politics. But that doesn't really work out. So to say that Mustafizur Rahman not coming to India will somehow change the dynamics of Hindus Bangladesh, it won't. What is going on with Hindus in Bangladesh has absolutely no link to Mustafizur Rahman's participation in the IPL. But at the end of the day, these are market forces that the BCCI will also have to acknowledge. My only problem is if you had to take a call like this in the after 20 days after the auction, why allow him in the auction in the first place?
Right.
Why send out a wrong message to the team owners? They were not just Shah Rukh Khan's team, there were 4 other teams bidding for Mustafizur Rahman. You are misleading the team owners then. That is where my problem with the BCCI is.
Right. Thank you both of you for joining me on this broadcast. If issues of violence and injustice are brushed aside, sporting ties alone won't hold relationship together. We need to send out a message, an honest message, and that matters because ignoring injustice only hardens positions tomorrow. But at the same time, should we let our sportsmen and women take the burden of political and diplomatic tensions? Well, not so much. With that, it's time for a short break for news and updates on the other side.